Welcome to another episode of Northern Ruckus. I'm here with my nigga.
Northern Ruckus, baby. Let's go, man. Jimmy Prime, I'm in the building, man.
This
Let's
guy
go,
said my
man.
name's
Come
Northern
on.
Ruckus.
Come
Shout
on,
this guy.
man. I am Northern Ruckus. What do you mean? Come on
Jeez,
now. People be
I'm
seeing me, they're like, hey,
Hi.
what up, Ruckus?
Hi, I'm
joking.
nobody.
They say that to you, though.
Sup? This guy's an idiot. Yeah, we're back. No guests today, so
Nah, no guests.
I get to catch up with my dog.
I know, right?
How you been? What have you been up to? How's the last month been for you?
It's been good, man. I was lazy at the beginning of the month. I had to get my shit back up. Then I got sick after getting back into shape. But I feel good now. I'm back to my usual self, man.
Okay.
Honestly, all this like gray weather is depressing as fuck, man.
All the raining, snow.
Yeah,
Bro,
I need the sun, man.
We had such a good winter though. Barely any snowstorms and
I
shit.
know, but just the grayness is just. I'd rather just a hard short win pause, a hard short winter.
This guy loves them hard and short, huh? Hard and short.
Hard short winter, and then just all this long grayness has just been terrible.
No, I feel that. We gotta go through a little housekeeping because the pod will be moving to Thursdays now. So this is going to be the last week that we're dropping this on Tuesdays. After this, we're going to be releasing our podcast on Thursdays just because of work, school, training issues, so timing and shit. So just letting you guys giving you a heads up.
Okay. Do we have a would you rather this week?
We do, but I was told they were shit.
by who?
By Ezra. I was talking to Ezra because I had a first half of one. I was like, yo, I want to know what you think about the second half. And then he's like, no, that's trash. Blah, blah, blah. So it brought my confidence down. I was like,
right.
Should I even ask?
Let me hear the would you rather, and I'll say whether I would rather answer it or not.
All right, so the would you rather is would you rather only be able to smoke after you conclude a fight with your girl? Or only be able to use social media if your daughter's watching your phone the whole time you're on it?
This is a shit question. What is the or? There's just no or. This is such a stupid
They're just two
question.
shit situations.
Oh my god, you're an idiot,
bro. That's hilarious, bro. Because think about all the times you want to smoke, you would actually have to just start fighting with your girl.
Yeah,
get over the fight.
Let's be real. Obviously, I'm gonna go with option one. Way easier. It's not gonna cut into my personal life at all. Just be arguing with this girl all the time for no reason.
But you have to conclude the fight. It's not like you just have to start a fight. You have
That's
to be
impossible.
settled.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm starting stupid fights and coming to stupid conclusions. All right, terrible question.
Yo, bro,
Step it up with the would you rather's. Holy. All right. And better news. Andrew Tate's home.
Yeah,
That's
free
your
the dog.
Yeah, that's your dog.
Free the dog. Bro, you saw him? He was looking yoked, bro.
Yeah, he looks pretty big.
He was eating good in the Romanian.
Probably not good, but a lot.
How is he fasting if he got fucking bigger? Yo, he's huge now.
Yeah, he looks big.
But yeah,
because you know what it is? It's because he had nowhere to run.
Yeah, that's what he said. All he
no cardio.
all he said was doing was pacing and push-ups.
Yeah.
Pacing push-ups and focusing on and reading the Quran.
Bro, actually being in shape and not being able to run for months on months like that is actually torture.
I feel like when I was probably 21, 22, I actually thought maybe of going to prison just to come back fit as fuck. This was right after Gucci came out and shit. And I'm just like, yo, if you go somewhere and you're just trapped and you have nothing to do but just work out, I feel like
I've heard
there's
this.
no way.
I've heard this from dudes who have been in jail and stuff. It's like some guys think that, but a lot of guys go to jail and are like the same little bitches that they were outside of jail. Yeah, and have excuses for everything.
No, I feel that, but I feel.
But some guys go in there and get yoked for sure.
Yeah, just doing the wall push-ups where your feet are up in the air and shit, getting your shoulders.
Yeah, the pull-ups, all that.
All the
dips on the bunk.
Aesthetics and shit. It's no, but I think it's good that he got free, even though they're not even technically free. They're just on house arrest from home. But it's
I think, man, it's all just gonna come out they were just trying to hold them back. But I think he said himself that he had a lot of time to think in there. I don't think he's gonna be on this, bro. He's so famous, he doesn't need to get any more famous. Now he needs to capitalize on his fame. Yeah. I think he's gonna think about how to sell things.
That's what I said on the first. I said in our group chat as a joke. I was like, if he ever does a pod with Joe Rogan right now, that's the first billion view fucking street.
That would be a favor to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan owes him one if he does that.
Yeah, and
literally wherever he goes,
no,
it's
not
crazy.
really, because if he has a message to put out, Joe Rogan is no matter anywhere in the world is the biggest platform he could possibly speak on. So
I mean, stuff like CNN and BBC is pretty big, but it's controlled and
but
you're
those
gonna have
people
someone...
would report on the Joe Rogan shit. You know what I mean? If Joe
yeah,
Rogan and
true.
Tate did a podcast,
it will get mentioned.
They would definitely have clips.
And he's for sure getting mentioned on every news outlet that he got freed and shit that. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I think it's a great news, but then it's they're not even arrested and shit, and they still have charges against. They have no charges against them, but they're still on house arrest and shit. So it's fucked up. But apparently, the reason he got out is because of the American government, huh? Apparently, that's just one thing I read about on the article. They're saying like how the American government got involved as of last week, and then they got him out on house arrest because they were saying it was against.
Got involved as of last week. I'm pretty sure they were involved in the first split. No. But yeah, I mean that's good. It's good to see Tate home, man. Free to real. Can't keep a real one back, man. They try to cage my dog up. He was spitting too much truth. That's what happens. True. All right, so next story. This one's crazy. Pull this up, Mishu. The news anchor that got fired for saying "faux shizzle my nizzle."
No shot. There's no shot.
I swear on my life. And she was there for like 30, 40 years. 20 years? Oh, she looks old as shit.
Shizzle my nizzle? Like,
yeah,
are they saying nizzle means nigga?
And that's what they're insinuating, obviously. That it means for sure my nigga. But I mean, let's be real. And she only brought it up because they were talking about Snoop Dogg. They're talking about Snoop Dogg.
So she said it in context.
Perfectly in context, yes. And they fired her for this. This is my whole thing with cancel culture, why I hate it, bro, because I feel like someone was waiting for her to fuck up. And as soon as she fucked up any type of way, they said, okay, this is the opportunity we've been waiting for. Let's get her out of here.
I don't even necessarily think they were waiting for her to fuck up. People love the opportunity when someone fucks up.
But what if there's one bitch there that hates her?
Or you're saying someone probably
just one person, just one individual person.
I guess, and yeah, that's fucked up. Like, right? It's like whoever's the one that's gonna step up and take her job type shit. But like, bro, people just have no common sense nowadays. I feel like there's no critical thinking skills anymore.
Okay, let me ask you this: do you think that it was a black person who was offended by this?
No, I would say, like me personally, out of the people I know, I would say no, but I do know that black people are the most sensitive people in America right now.
More unsensitive or the most sensitive?
The most sensitive. Okay, I think like
enough.
Black people get offended by the most things right like in today's era than any other like group of people. Even like, I would even say more than like the LGBT community. I feel like black people love to find offense in things that don't even make sense.
So your answer is that the black man likes to play victim too much?
100%. 100%. The fuck?
All right. You're going to stand on that one? Okay.
How can you argue not? Like, the fact that we're trying to claim that we are still oppressed by racism, even though racism is
obviously no. Like you mean slavery? Obviously, we're still oppressed by racism. You idiot! Racism isn't abolished. How do you abolish racism?
It's my point exactly. Exhibit A.
Oh my gosh, bro! If you think that racism isn't affecting anyone out there, you're delusional. I'm not saying it affects everyone. It definitely affects some people.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that, but everyone moves like they're affected by racism.
Oh, I hear what you're saying, but like, brother, when you're a black guy and you're going into your car thinking, "Oh fuck, I hope I don't get pulled over by the cops today," that's like a exclusive to being a black thought. Like white people aren't too worried about that.
I've never had that thought in my life.
All right, well,
like I've never said, "Oh, I hope I don't get pulled over by a cop today." Like if I drive past a cop, I'd be like, "Oh shit, is he gonna pull me over?" Like maybe, but I've never. Today might be the day, guys. Like no, like, that's not the fucking flag. Like,
might be the day you don't go home. I don't know. Yeah, especially like bro on a country road. I wouldn't want to get pulled over on some country road where no one's around to see what's going on and shit. I would not. I would wait until I was somewhere more crowded to pull over. 100%.
Exhibit B.
All right, whatever, man. But yeah, I think that this was a little bit blown out of proportion. I don't think that.
No, this is crazy.
I think like, hey, if some random white lady comes up to me when I'm at dinner with my family and is like, "Oh, hey, what's up, guys? I see you're black. Faux shizzle my nizzle." Okay, maybe that's racist. But this, like you said, was perfectly in context. Snoop Dogg got brought up. She said, "Faux shizzle my nizzle." I think it's actually a little bit funny. It actually shows that like she's not like super square. Like she was just being relaxed and comfortable.
Like,
you know.
Remember when I forget even who made the song like my nigga. But remember when all the white people used to be like my ninja.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean? Is that racist? It's the exact same concept.
You're subbing it for another word.
Yeah,
right?
you're subbing it for another word. Everybody understands what you're saying, but it's like, okay, you're not saying quote unquote the word. Like
yeah, and it's crazy because we just talked about the whole white people saying the N-word shit. Yeah. And after that, fam, I went and watched the Boondocks episode about it.
It's so funny,
bro. When the teacher's like, he asked last week if a nigga could borrow fry, and all I thought was not. Why did he say the N-word? All I thought was, how does a nigga borrow fry? He's like, my inside voice never sounded like that. And it's like, bro, that is so funny. Like, because I know for a fact a lot of like older white people when they come around, like young niggas that be talking like that and shit, like, yeah, their mind starts to work like that too. Because it's like, it just rolls off the tongue type shit. That's why we use it, because it's easy to use. Like, you know?
I'm telling you, there's no way in the world that people wouldn't use a word that you're not allowed to use. Like once you get that told that you're not allowed to use it, you're gonna want to say it more.
Yeah, that's
and more
why
and
fuck
more.
is so popular.
Yeah,
Everyone loves using fuck because
it's
it's
like
like
the
the
same
word
thing
you're
I
not
was saying
supposed to
last
use.
week about how I got suspended for calling a girl a cunt. It's like I didn't even know what the fuck that meant, but I know you're not allowed to say it.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
You just know it's not used
Exactly.
frequently.
So it's like, yo, bro, there's no way you can get mad at someone for using a substitution for a word to replace a word. Like that's craziness.
And it's like, it's faux shizzle, my nizzle. That's
For
like
shizzle,
pop
my
culture.
It's not even
like,
English.
I feel
It's
like
not a language.
Miley Cyrus could go up there and say that, or like JoJo's, like whatever.
JoJo
Like,
Siwa?
yeah, she could say that shit and I wouldn't be offended. Like that shit is like funny. Like it's like some Disney Channel shit. If we're being real, like it's that big. And that, bro, shout out to Snoop Dogg for saying some shit like faux shizzle, my nizzle. Like think about how big that is, bro. Like people. It's gonna take. I think sometimes it'll take Snoop Dogg dying for people to realize how iconic he is.
No,
That man has the impact he's had on the planet Earth is crazy, especially obviously on hip hop culture. But it's went international.
I'm surprised you like Snoop Dogg.
I love Snoop Dogg.
Because you always talk about how niggas always sell out, and I would argue that he's the number one nigga sellout.
Okay, I don't like niggas that sell out in a weird way. Like he sold out in a way where it's like he went mainstream. That's completely different. Going mainstream and being a sellout is two different things.
Well, like I would say, like like going mainstream, he was always mainstream, right?
Not
Like,
really. When they first came out, like he was like a rapper. Like back then, being a rapper was like it was like frowned upon. Like it's hard. I understand what you're saying. He's
Yeah.
always been a big rapper. Back then, that's kind of how the game was. There wasn't like internet rappers and shit like that. But it's not like bro, some of the things that you see him doing these days, like commercials on TV and shit. Like no, that was not possible for him when he first came out and shit and was fighting a murder charge.
Like legend status, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he took it and he did with it what you're supposed to do with it. You'll never see Snoop Dogg, his house getting raided and he has guns in it or some stupid shit like that. Like the nigga is completely professional and has taught people how to graduate out of the streets.
But he still reps that Crip shit.
Yeah, because it's in his DNA. It's who he is. Even with that shit, bro, that Crip and Blood shit is like, when you're from LA, that shit is more like some tribal shit.
Yeah.
That's like your tribe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that just pretty much just tells me where you were born, what street you were born on, and type shit. Like, you know?
You grew up in,
Yeah, and you're not a buster, like. All right, so I think that covers that, man. So next thing I wanted to get into, I seen on World Star, there's this video, man. This dude's trying to leave his girl, and she shoots him. She shoots him and kills him for trying to leave her. And the sad part is, man, it was kind of traumatic for me because I go on World Star a lot, like a typical nigga. But I'm on there, and like every day I'm going on, it's like the header of the site. I'm like, bro, this is like trauma. Like, why are they selling us this trauma like that? I don't want to see this. It's like fucked up. And I feel like when I was watching the video, I was like, man, as fucked up as she is, I almost feel like she's programmed to be this fucked up. Like,
see, like I get what you're saying. Like you're saying society pushed her towards it. I don't think that's necessarily true. I feel like people are like, there's gonna be demons in the world. Like, you know what I mean? There's they come in all shapes and sizes. So it's like I don't like playing identity politics with like who are these demons, but it's like, yo, fucked up people do fucked up things regardless of the situation. I feel like people trying to find excuses for why they do it is kind of the problem. Being like, oh, it's because of mental illness. Oh, it's because of this. Oh, because of that.
So
it's
do you
like,
feel like that?
Nigga, like people have been evil from the beginning of time. It's just like.
Do you feel like that with the Nashville shooter too?
100%.
Like, it's just an evil person. It has nothing to do with her sexuality, nothing like that.
I don't even want to go too into that.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
I don't want to
It's
either.
like they've always, like, the funny thing to me, like I said this in a group chat right when it happened, is historically everybody's always like, ooh, a white shooter, this white male. Like, oh, these incels are all shooting up schools. Playing identity politics. That's from the left saying this. And then the right's be like, it's not just a white person, it's a bad person with mental illness, blah, blah, blah. Roles are completely reversed now, where it's someone from the left doing these, and now the right is the ones who are calling it, oh, it's a transgender, oh, it's a mentally ill, blah, blah. It's like the exact same circle that people don't even realize that they're caught in. And it's like, yo, take away the identity of the person and just realize it's a fucked up person. Stop trying to justify the actions of a fucked up person.
Yeah.
Like, fucked up people are going to do fucked up things no matter what. Like, look how many niggas are in jail right now for doing fucked up things. I'm not going to be out on the street saying, oh, free this nigga because he just killed 10 people. It's like, no, like, you killed 10 people, go to fucking jail. Like, what do you mean? It doesn't matter what skin color or what kind of identity you fucking believe in. It's like, there's, like, demons come in all shapes and sizes. These fucked up people are the definition of demons. Like,
so, but just to circle back around to the original point, because it's more about a relationship thing, right, with men and women, especially as a black couple, right? I just feel like, do you feel like not even necessarily society pushes us? 'Cause I don't think it's like an agenda like that, but I just feel like accidentally, because they sell so much stupid shit, that people are kind of just like toxic, and a lot of like toxic relationships end up like
toxic
this.
means like you do shit that other people wouldn't like. killing somebody I wouldn't consider toxic. That's
But the whole
completely
reason why he
different.
was leaving her was because she was toxic, and her toxicity was so bad to the point that she shot him for it.
Yeah, because she's a fucked up person. It's like, yo, he shouldn't be like. Again, I would argue that he shouldn't even have been in a relationship with someone who's that fucked up, anyways. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like there's gonna be fucked
Look
up
at her,
people
bro. It's
doing.
a
I know,
regular
like,
bitch.
No, it's not a regular.
I mean,
bitch,
she's a
bro.
little ratchet. She's a little ratchet.
That's a demon, fam. It's like the fact that you can just kill someone cold blooded, like that. Just like it takes a different breed of person to do that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I understand. Like I've always came from a stance that there is a form of justified murder, right? Like a lot of people don't agree with me on this, but I do believe like if someone did something to my family, like my mom, my sister, my brothers, my nephews, my nieces, like I do believe that I would have inside me the power to kill somebody for something like that if they did something in kind to one of my family members. I do believe I can do that, and in my opinion, I would justify it to myself. I don't care if it's justified in the law or not. I would be able to justify it within myself.
Yeah.
But I think that people that kill in cold blood that don't really like sociopaths and shit. Like I don't think those are regular people. Like those are people that we're supposed to be able to find in society and take them out from earlier. But I feel like now that the overpopulation of people of like cities and shit let those people hide themselves more.
Yeah,
Like like a sociopath like that would have been found in a tribe in like a week and been like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch? Kick her the fuck out of the tribe. She'll go live with the fucking wolves and die in a week. Like,
okay,
you know
but
what I
that's also part of what I'm saying. Like, do you feel like it's more acceptable these days to be fucked up, which leads to people being more fucked
well,
up?
yeah, I think a lot like. I in that aspect, yes, in a sense, because I feel like mad people are like more people now than ever are fucked up.
Yeah, like weirdos.
For many different reasons. Like in my opinion, again, like with the transgender shit, it's like the fact that you think that you're something you're not. In my opinion, I think that's fucked up. Like in medical history's opinion, they think that was fucked up until 10 minutes ago. So it's like we're normalizing people being fucked up. I'm not saying that makes them a demon that they think that they're a guy or a girl or whatever. But I'm saying like we've all like today we don't care about people's mental health. Like there's no like. What's that thing in where you can just take someone off the street because they're moving like mentally ill? Like they just did it to Lindsay Lohan or whatever because she was walking around.
I don't know the name.
Like the 7550 or something like that. What's it called? Well, I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
But it's like when someone is like completely out of their mind, you were able to just call the cops. They would take them and bring them to mental institution.
Like a public health.
Yeah.
risk.
So it's like we don't really have that to the extent that it should be implemented anymore because people are too sensitive.
That is a slippery
People don't
slope.
want to offend other people.
That is a slippery slope, though, because I know Hitler was locking up all them people and pretty much putting them in the gas chamber.
like that's like it's such a weird comparison to compare anything.
No, I'm just saying,
that to Hitler,
I'm just saying he was big on that, on getting rid of all the people with like any sort of craziness, any type of mental health problem. He would just sweep them all the schizophrenic people, all those type of people, just sweep them all up and get rid of them all at once, right? So I'm just saying it's a slippery slope. But I hear what you're saying. For sure, I do hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I just think I don't know. I hate people when they try to justify evil.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that's just so weird.
I agree with you.
It's like just call it what it is, keep it moving. It's like trying to find excuses for that shit is just it hinders the problem.
Yeah. So what about people getting fake called out when they didn't do nothing, man? I want to talk about Jonathan Majors. You see what happened with that?
Well,
and bro,
it's not even official that it's fake. Yeah, but
no,
she
undid the charges. She took back the charges.
But just because you drop the charges doesn't mean it's fake. Like, you know what I mean? It's
fair
like
enough.
She can be pressured. But no, I think in the Jonathan Majors case, it's like the fact that everybody was jumping on the shit for being like a molester and shit without knowing anything.
Was it sexual assault? I thought it was just physical assault.
It was sexual. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was sexual assault too. But he was the one that called the cops. You know that?
Probably because she was attacking him.
Yeah, and he called the cops, and then he got arrested.
Because he's a black man. That's what I'm saying. Racism does affect.
Not because he's a black man. It's because he was a man.
Bro.
Period. Like, see, this is what I'm trying to say.
All right, bro. You
C.
could be right, but why does this always happen to black men? And do white women call the cops as often and frequently on white men as they do on black men when they're not being abusive? No,
says,
the answer is no.
People don't like to play.
Bro,
victim.
this is exactly what happened to Emmett Till type shit, man.
Oh my
like,
gosh! Now
bro,
we're bringing back. It's not the same thing that happened to Emmett Till because we live in a society now where women are empowered by the protections of the
that's
justice
why
system.
that's that. So what you're saying, what empowers them? So of course they're gonna always use that and fall back on their empowerment.
Yeah.
If that's the thing that empowers them, every time that something's not going their way, they're gonna fall back on that. Honestly,
But I'm saying it's just not white and black. I think it's men and women.
I don't think it's a white and black thing. But I'm just saying,
thing.
isn't it funny how often this happens to black men? How often have you seen a black man, especially on top of his game? Fam, right now he was just one of the hottest people in Hollywood.
Yeah,
he just did like 3 big movies.
Creed 3.
Creed 3 is a huge movie, yeah. Yeah, he did Quantumania, and he had the other one where he's a fighter pilot. So he just dropped 3 big movies.
Bro, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm only disagreeing with the fact that you're saying it's only happens
So wait,
to
so
black
you
men.
don't think that? Okay, I'm not saying it only happens. You fucking retard. I'm saying it happens quite often that white women accuse, or even just women in general, just accuse black men of being abusive, especially when shit's not going their way. Fam, if in that last video where the girl shot the man, if she could have said that he was abusing her, she would have. But instead, her anger got the best of her, and she just shot him.
No, but like you're conflating the 2 points.
I'm just saying that black men are abused when it comes to
Oh.
relationships.
I think
We're
all-
abused.
I think
We're
all
the
men
most
are.
abused demographic out there. Out there.
Exhibit
Black
D.
men get abused, used, and abused.
Yo, it's so funny how you're going back on yourself. This is
What?
hilarious.
How?
Bro,
How?
you literally just said black people don't like to play victim, and then now
I never said black people don't like to play victim.
No.
I said black people are affected by racism. I never said that they don't play victim. That's 2 different things.
All right, man. But no, so I think it's fucked up that Jonathan Majors got arrested for, like, if he was the one that called the police to come and protect him, because he, like, the only other way he would protect himself is by, like, hitting the bitch, and he clearly didn't want to do that because he has an image to uphold. The cops still came and arrested him, took him out of the situation.
And that was his only hope. What other option did he have other than calling the cops?
Well, like, he could have got up and left, but I think it was his house that they were in and shit. But like,
Man,
the
man's
whole
supposed to
situation
get up
is
and
just
leave his
fucked
own
up, but
house.
It's like
It's crazy.
It's also like it's crazy, like just how many protections that like women have in today's society, and then they argue that they're the oppressed class. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like this. If I was a true feminist, you should stand up and argue against this, saying this is not feminism. You know?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if you're a bitch that's beating another nigga, then it's like this guy's not allowed to hit you back, and this guy is respecting the fact that he's not allowed to hit you back. Other women should be upset that you're out here just doing all this wild shit. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'll say, to go beyond the speculation, because of course I'm saying as a black man, because that's my experience. So maybe I am
Bro,
over.
you're barely black.
All right, whatever you say. Maybe I am over exaggerating it, right? But at the end of the day, bro, the news story was everywhere when he got accused.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And after she dropped the charges, you don't see anyone
Well, that's
coming
just
out.
media in general. Media loves negativity.
I know they love bad stories and
Like,
shit. And like,
negativity
bro,
sells.
there's no undoing the damage that was caused to his reputation.
His brand?
Yeah.
I would disagree with that because the only reason I would disagree with that is because he hasn't been getting canceled off of anything, right? So it's like if he, like I was
He's a
only
movie star.
No,
So
no,
it's
of course
hard to
he's a-
say. It's about now. Is he going to get those big roles that he was just getting? Is he going to be on that same trajectory he was just on?
I think he still would be, especially because all these things are getting dropped. That like people are sure someone's gonna do a quick Google search and see that headline, but it's like he'll be able to justify it. Like he would be able to talk to anybody in like the corporate world of like the movie, like any director and shit, and be like, I dealt with all these things. Like I could show you all the documents. Like none of this is a problem. I promise you that.
Okay.
And like he has the evidence to back it. It's not like it's an open case.
Yeah.
Like if
As
the
long-
case is
hey.
like tucked away and done, he'll be fine. I
As
think.
long as he doesn't get dropped off Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, because that's gonna be his biggest movie yet. And if you look at his whole like I don't know, you call it discography. What do you call it for a movie theater? His whole catalog, bro. The man's a great actor. He's been in a lot of great movies. Like Harder They Fall, he killed that. Devotion, he killed that. Creed 3, he killed that. I know as Kang, he's good because I saw him as that in Loki. I never saw the new Ant-Man. And White Boy Rick, he was good. And Five Bloods, he's good. Like, bro, he's a great actor. Like, these are all. Oh, what's that movie where he played? It was huge. He played like Nat Turner. That was like his biggest movie. That wasn't him? Really?
No. I'm not a movie guy, so I haven't seen any of these movies to be honest.
The Nat Turner movie. Who's in that? Yeah, Birth of a Nation. Oh shit, that's not him at all.
This
It
nigga's
was a long
racist.
time ago. It was a long time
all
ago.
those blacks look the same, huh?
No, that's funny. But this nigga fell off actually. Since he made that movie, he hasn't really been in nothing. That's crazy. Damn. For what? The same thing?
You got canceled for something else.
What did he get canceled for?
Nate Parker?
Yeah.
I don't know. Dude.
It's been 3 years since he was canceled for a past 1999 rape allegation. I'm just saying, man. Black men get accused of rape a lot and sexual. Okay, DeForest Buckner, that happened to him too, and the other dude, whatever Banks, he was in jail for like 10 years, and he never even did what it came out that he never even raped the girl.
I don't know who Banks is.
He came out of he came out of jail and was like trying out for the NFL stuff, like Jonathan Banks or something like that. I can't remember his name. But yeah, he went to jail for 10 years. He was like one of the #1 recruits coming out of college going to the NFL.
I know who you're talking about. The guy from Oregon. His name's not Banks.
No, that's DeForest Buckner.
That's not DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner. I know who you're talking about though. But no,
I'm talking about someone older than you.
But-
It wasn't nothing recent.
But
it was a long time ago.
No, I know exactly who you're talking about. He's
Okay.
like my age actually. But No, I think like all these like sexual allegations and shit, like regardless of race, is just all fucked up. That like I used to have the stance that you should, if you accuse someone of like a sexual assault, that if you made it up, you should get the same charges you accused them for. I've recently walked that back only in the sense that I don't even believe in the justice system, right? So it's like you could like just imagine a girl did get sexually assaulted, they go to court, the guy wins the case, and then now the girl goes to jail after getting like actually getting sexually assaulted. Like that's the only reason why I would disagree with that. Like in theory, if you could 100% prove right or wrong, I would say yeah, but like I don't believe in the justice system, so like wholeheartedly I would say you shouldn't do it. But again, like there has to be some form of repercussions towards like false allegations because it is essentially one-sided and it does majority of the time fuck up only the guy's life.
But I'm just saying, like, really, really though, you don't think that false accusations happen to black men more than they do to white men?
No. Like Johnny Depp, fucking Amber Heard, same shit. Is Johnny Depp black? That I just secretly didn't know about. I would argue that was the most high profile like false accusation.
He's definitely a nigga, but not gonna go into it.
He is from the Caribbean, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Johnny Depp played the shit out of that role. I can't wait until he's in the next parts of the Caribbean. All right, so one thing I was gonna ask about is like, this is just random topics. This isn't a news topic. It's like these days with social media and stuff, right? Like you ever have someone send you something on social media, you're like, oh, I already saw this. Like, you know?
Yeah, you every day in the group chat?
Right. So you kind of have that like know-it-allism, right? And I feel like these days with like social media, the internet, people like the average person right now is probably smarter than the average person on earth has ever been, knowledge-wise. Let me finish. Knowledge-wise, we know so much concepts, so much things, so much theories, so much religions, so much people, so much different things. But like our actual usefulness, like the things that we could actually do with our hands, it's like we can't do much. Like the average person 50 years ago could do so much more than we could. Like they could build a house, like they could fix a car, they could build a table, like a million things that they do with their hands and shit. And even just women, like knowing, like the average woman knew how to sew, braid hair, cook, clean, all these things, like even stitches and stuff like that. And I'm saying like it's almost like we're becoming less talented as society and becoming more like know-it-alls. Like what do you think about that?
I get what you're saying and I understand the point, and it's kind of crazy that you're bringing it up because I was actually just talking about this with my friend this week. And I was saying, like, people think that we're smarter now than ever. I think we're, like, one of the dumbest generations of all time. Because, like, I can ask you simple questions, and it's, like, about how, like, not even, like knowledge. Like, no, it is knowledge. It's, like, how the world works. I ask you a question about, like, how the world works, and people don't understand this shit. And this is, like, concepts that people have known for hundreds of years, like, thousands of years. And it's, like, people think that we know so much because we're learning bullshit. We're learning, oh, this is how you create a business and do this and this and this. And it's like that is valuable knowledge for our time, but it's not like if the world went to shit, that doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
It's funny because that's what I was trying to get at too.
Yeah,
like what Grant Hancock was
saying.
That's what
I'm saying. Not even like to that extent. Like, for example, on the drive here, we were literally just talking with Terrence and shit because we were just talking about like Africa and the Nile River and shit. And Terrence said some stupid shit to me, and I was absolutely fucking dumbfounded. This guy thought that rivers start from oceans or large bodies of water. And I was like, that's like the dumbest thing ever. Because like, I don't know how people think nowadays or how you learn. I'm not saying like he learned it wrong. I think he just never learned it at all. But it's like, yo, gravity's a thing for a reason. It's like all water sources will end at the ocean because they start at higher points and gradually go down to quote unquote sea level, which is supposed to be like the lowest level of
But in his defense,
elevation.
Where it starts, where it ends, tomato.
No. But I was explaining to him that like, for example, like we're right now in Toronto, we're not living at sea level. Like I think like Lake Ontario is like 800 feet over sea level. So it's like the reason why we can do like the St. Lawrence River is because it's a gradual decline all the way to the ocean. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like things like that. And it's like people don't even understand basic concepts of life, like the society we live, not even the society, like the
planet we live on.
The planet we live on. Like, you know what I mean? There's such a disconnect. So it's like when you
especially when it comes to like herbs and shit like that, not to interrupt you, like, you know, like people don't know none of the plants that grow around them. And it's like, there's literally shit all around us.
Or how do you even plant? Like when someone says, like when people bring up like the global warming argument, for example, when they say, "Oh, we're overpopulating the country, the world, because we're not gonna have enough land to be fertilized." I'm like, that's like one of the craziest things ever. Because like, do you even understand how fertilization works? Anywhere where there's like trees or life is technically fertile land because those plants are growing. But it's like if you want to do like monocrop agriculture and shit, like yeah, you're gonna destroy the land more because there's no nutrients in the soil and shit. So it's like it's just like people don't understand like how to like we think we know as much, we know a lot, but we know a lot about nothing.
That's pretty much. We're pretty much. Saying the same
that's what I'm
thing.
saying. I
We have
agree with
so
you. I
much
said that's why it's crazy you brought it up.
We have so much
useless information. It's some crazy thing too. I saw some statistic where it's like, right now more kids under the age of 16 know more genders than they do countries. I'm like, that's the definition of worthless information. Like worthless. And it's like what do we like? At what point do we just realize that we're just learning stupid shit? Even like I was even saying to my friend, it's like I think the dumbest people I know, at least from my perspective, the dumbest people I know are the people that are very, very educated. Like they're the least they're
the most out of touch with reality.
No, not even a matter of out of touch with reality. They're like the least out of the box thinkers there are. Like, you know what I mean? Like they understand structures and like especially the structures that they went to school for, whatever that being, engineering, business, whatever. They can understand that to a level that I will never be able to understand it because they did their due diligence to learn it. But it's like they won't like if I gave them like a concept of like anything else, they would never be able to like try to like break it down and reason it. Like they would have to go study in a book and whatever. Like they have no self-thought. Like, and I feel like that is lost in our society mostly out of everything. Like critical thinking skills in the sense that like people don't ever ponder an idea anymore. They just Google what is the answer to this right away. And it's like I think curiosity was killed by Google, and curiosity is the gateway to creativity. And it's like I feel like our society. I've always said like I don't like Googling shit. So I don't like Googling.
Do you think that we're less creative because of all that?
Like yes, to like creative in the sense of like why do we still like this is gonna be a stupid point, but it's like why do we still believe that like fossil fuels is the only way to produce energy when we already created the nuclear energy from like 50 years ago?
I don't think that's people thinking that.
But
I think that's industry.
Yeah, it is industry. Yeah. Like that's what I was saying. It's a stupid point because it is more political in the sense that like there's like all these companies are paying these politicians and shit. But I'm saying like if you ask a typical person who's even against oil and all these natural gases and shit, if you ask them like what do they think about nuclear, they don't know anything about nuclear because they never learned anything about nuclear. But it's like clearly that is the best way to produce energy. Yeah. And it's like if you just ever thought about it, read about it, or anything like that, I think
I have an argument that solar energy is really good too, really clean for the environment.
There's no way to store solar energy though.
Why
and
not?
It's like,
figure out a way. Figure out batteries to store that shit.
I don't know. I always thought that too. I was like, bro, there's no way you couldn't just like farm all of the Sahara Desert. It's like that's like this
exactly because
like,
no one lives there.
No one lives there. It's always long days because it's on the fucking equator and shit. It's like you just put like massive farms out there of a thing, and even water farms where you can just like drain precipitation and shit. And it's like that would be a beautiful place for like an industrial like sense. But
yeah, an
like,
industrial boom. That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. All right, so that was just like a random thought that I had.
Ran for there.
No, that's good. That's kind of why I brought it up. All right, so now it's a little bit more. This is more personable. This is a little more personable thing. Have you guys heard of the Andrew Tate contract?
No.
So Andrew Tate, it's Tole, Andrew Tate. Yeah, that's him there, Andrew Tate. So he played for the Dodgers, I think like maybe 5-6 years ago. Ended up getting dropped, whatever. Ended up on the streets. Developed a few mental disorders like bipolarism, schizophrenia, and stuff like that. Right. Had a rough life for a couple years there, and his dad ended up taking him in. Once the Dodgers organization kind of realized what was going on with him, they started to sign him to the roster each year. And
I saw that and got like the MLB minimum or whatever.
Yeah. He doesn't play. They don't expect him to ever play, but it's just so that he can get the coverage from the team as far as health and getting the help that he needs and stuff like that. And I just think that's super dope. And sometimes I feel like when it comes to these collective bargaining agreements, like all these guys in the leagues and stuff, they just clamor for how much money can we get? How much money can we get? It's just like how much money is enough? Some of these guys are so rich. It's like, can we just take some time to worry about the little guys, the guys that are falling through the cracks? And I really want to commend the Dodgers organization for doing this because this is really dope to me, and this is what sports is all about at the highest level, changing lives. You know what I mean?
I think it's a cool story. I think it is like, it's a commendable thing by the Dodgers to do, but I don't think. again, I don't think it's it goes to the responsibilities of the Dodgers to do, right?
I don't think it's the responsibilities. I think it's cool that they're doing it.
No,
Also,
100%, 100%.
I don't think that they should do this for every person on the street. It's someone who used to play for their organization, right? That's why I think it's dope, because he was a LA Dodger. So imagine, imagine you're a huge Dodgers fan, right? And you knew all the guys, right? And then 4 years pass, and you're walking to the supermarket, and you see a guy that you know was a LA Dodger begging for change in front of the store. You're kind of like, that's fucked up. Why aren't the Dodgers doing anything for you?
No,
you know?
no, of course. But like, yeah, the Tyronn Lue shit, like how you always see
Not
him,
Tyronn
like,
Lue. I know you're talking
yeah,
about Delonte West.
Delonte West. Yeah, my bad, not Tyronn Lue.
Yeah,
but like
imagine.
the fact that he's like at a gas station trying to tell a kid that he used to play in the NBA and shit. It's like, bro,
it's
like
sad. That's
you just
bad for the NBA.
Yeah, it is, and it's like if they did something like this, it would be commendable, but it's not their responsibility. And like you were saying, like you don't think like how much money is too much. And it's like I don't think that's even the question. It's like
no, that's not. I'm just trying to say, like, when they go to these collective bargaining agreements, I think guys should just fight for more things than just the money.
So you're saying more like you don't need to be a veteran to get a pension. You don't.
Yeah,
need to be,
like the pension plans, the retirement plans, the mental health stuff, all that type of stuff. Because even like, let's say I play for the Dodgers, and it's not me going through it, but it's like my little brother, and I'm just an average guy on the team. It's just like, bro, my brother should be able to come and get that same help that I would, type thing. Like, you know, it should be extended to family type stuff. You know,
not really, because like that's just like
I just think so. Like these, bro, they're so rich, and you have to understand whatever excess money isn't spent, it's just going into like either bonuses and stuff like that.
The government. And like those are the people that are supposed to be setting up these social structures.
The government does have a lot of programs for that. Like, it's just people won't seek it out, right?
No, but that's exactly what they're supposed to. Like the only like I hate government. All government I hate. But the only concept of a structure of a government is to make sure those social fabrics are always protected. Like, you know what I mean? You're always supposed to protect the most vulnerable in the society. That's the role of government.
So you think this is dope, but you don't think it should be used as a template?
Yes. I think it's an amazing action that they did. Regardless if you want to say it's a publicity stunt or not, it's the same argument of the Mr. Beast thing. It's like, doesn't make it not a good thing that they're doing something that benefits themselves also. But I don't think it should be set as a norm. I don't think that, like, a franchise should be held to be responsible for everybody that comes through the franchise for the rest of their life. That seems like one of the stupidest things ever, because it's like my employer's not like, if I quit my job today, go to another job, and then get fired, I'm not going to expect my employer to.
No, for sure, no. But these are the best jobs in the world.
No, of course. And like when they were making his money, he was making more money than a regular person. So it's like you could say like, why couldn't you say better? Like there's a lot of arguments, but it's like I understand that like shit happens, but it's not on the responsibility of an organization. I would argue, like what you were saying with the collective bargaining and shit. You can make an argument to like get a pension program for not just veterans. Yeah. I know it's like usually it's like 4 years in the league minimum that you have to do before you can even start collecting a pension. I think things like that you could do, but a pension essentially is a savings program that of any fucking person in the MLB can do on their own. Like, you know what I mean? If you hiring all these like these agents and these wealth managers and stuff to be like on your to control your money and shit, it's like tell them you want to have money set aside, and it's like that. It's a matter of how you want to live while you're playing to how you want to live when you're done playing, right? Because it's like all these like professional athletes only have 10, 15-year careers, right?
Oh, that's a long career.
Yeah,
I would say around 5 years.
No, I'm saying at the top end. Like you're getting like a 10 to 15, unless you're like an NFL quarterback. Like 15 years is a long career in every sport, and it's like, if you're a regular Joe is working a 35-year career, like, you know what I mean? Like we're working from 25 to 65. Like that's like an average career for a person. So what is that? 40 years. So it's like, yeah, we make less money in those 40 years, but it's like you always know there is a retirement age, and you plan towards it regardless of there's a pension plan or not. You can do your RSIPs or RSPs and shit like that. So it's like, it kind of is a responsibility. Like I feel like you're neglecting the responsibility of the athlete because they're making too much money, and I feel like that's a weird stance.
No, it wasn't even that. I just feel like, man, it's so tough to make it to the league, and these guys sacrifice so much to get there.
I don't even agree with that, really.
All I was gonna say is that, like, man, making it to the league is something so special, and I just feel like there should be a little more behind it than just that money thing. Like, you know,
of course,
it should be like, you know, that you're a part. If you make it to be a LA Dodger, you know that you're part of the LA Dodger family type thing, you know? And that is kind of like the branding that they put out there. And I just feel like when you see them actually standing by that in stories like this, it's like, that's actually dope. That makes you want to go buy a Dodgers jersey, man. Like, it's actually dope. Like, it's deeper than sports sometimes.
When I was saying,
you know?
I disagree, I didn't disagree with that point at all. I agree with that. But I was just saying, like, I feel like it's once you hit like a prep high school or like NCAA, you're no longer struggling in any sport you play, especially if you're at the top.
Yeah.
Like if you're on an NCAA basketball team, NBA or football team or baseball team, you're treated like a god from 18 to the rest of your life until you're done playing. Like, you know what I mean? So it's
Fair
like,
enough. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
but no, I think it's just like maybe even I would even go to the point where like every rookie should have to take like a money management course forced by the team. That would be something
Yeah.
that I'll be in support
I think
of more than
I think in the NFL they do that now.
they do that.
I think so.
Yeah,
Or
that would-
the NBA or NFL, one of them they do
that would
it
make sense,
during the combine. I think it is.
I wouldn't even no. I would say like an actual course, like a full like year. You do an hour.
Oh,
like,
a whole year, man.
do,
These
like-
guys are playing football,
yeah,
brother.
but you do 2 hours a week, bro. I'm telling you, they have so much downtime. You do 2 hours a week, like you know what I mean. It's like there's no reason they shouldn't be able to do that and learn how to deal with their finances when they're going to be dealing with $1 million deals and shit. It's like it's kind of stupid. You wouldn't know how to do that, and you just expect somebody else. Like how many times do fucking people get scammed from that shit? Like you know what I mean? They get a
Yeah.
bad money manager and they just go broke.
It happens all the time. That's
All
the
the
sad
time.
part, right? All right, let's keep it on a little bit of sports talk. Sorry if you're not into the sports. We might get a little sportsy right now, so bear with us. It's just more random stuff. I was thinking, I saw a picture with, it was like, I think Tom Brady on some like retirement shit, and he had like Blaine Gabbert there with him. I think they were just partying. It was like Julian Edelman, Tom Brady, and it was just like, man, like this is just dope to see these guys all come full circle and stuff. And it's like I said, more just about like it's deeper than sports sometimes. And I look at Blaine Gabbert. I remember, I think what was Blaine Gabbert drafted like number
Jags.
2 overall?
Yeah, he was high.
Super high, and I'm like, you know, some of these guys get called a bust and stuff, and it's funny because he's a white guy,
Yeah.
and a lot of times I won't really be on the side of a white quarterback, you know. But it's like Blaine Gabbert. I remember him getting
Exhibit B.
drafted, and I remember being like, I could see why they drafted him. He looks like he's gonna be a baller. It didn't pan out, but it's like his career was still pretty good. He won a Super Bowl as a backup,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just like, is he a flop? Would you say that his career is a flopped career? Like, do you think he was overdrafted?
Depends on like what you want to consider a flop, right? So it's like if you could have a 5, 10, 15-year career, like no matter what, you're making you're making more money than we're gonna see in our life. You know what I mean? It's like if you
Yeah.
make
Maybe your life, brother.
if you make $3 million, like he was probably making, which is nothing in the NFL, $3 million a year for like 5 years, like that, like you're still having a $15 million career, and you're gonna be surrounded by other millionaires, so you could have like unlimited business ventures and shit that you
Yeah.
can get into. So it's
The
like
brotherhood, right?
yeah, and it's like it's like that's it. It's not it's a flop in a football career, but it's definitely a starting point for an amazing like life. Like the fuck, I don't think anybody that has a career like that would ever complain.
Right.
It's like there's always been career backups, and it's like career backups don't complain about being career backups. Like, you know
And that's why I think some guys who kind of get that bust label, because don't let it, Blaine Gabbert had that title put on him.
no, of course,
And he
'cause,
pushed
like,
through it.
the
But a lot of
bust
guys,
compared to expectations.
yeah. But a lot of guys will take it, like let's say like Jamarcus Russell,
Yeah.
gets labeled a bust and just stops playing football pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's just so whack. And then you see like a Geno Smith, same thing, gets kind of called a bust. But then look at him now with the Seahawks.
No, but I don't know what you're arguing because he was a bust. Like he did play terrible when he was on the Jets. Geno Smith.
Oh yeah, but
Geno Smith, even Jamarcus Russell, he was terrible when he played for the
all I
Raiders.
was saying is that you could play terrible and still have a good career.
But it's like, so for example, especially for this example of quarterbacks, it's like to be a backup quarterback is a different position than being a quarterback, right?
Yeah,
so
completely.
it's like you're more of like a stud, like a
You're almost like a
guy.
coach.
You're kind of like
Assistant
a coach. So it's like it's a role that you have to prepare yourself for. Like I don't know if you know, but like the Chargers, for example, like we have Chad. Is it Chad Henne? No, or
He was for a
no,
while.
not Chad. I forget who it is. But we have like one of those old shit guys as a backup quarterback. But then we also have a third guy, Easton Stick, who's like supposed to be like the actual backup quarterback. So if Herbert ever got injured. But it's like, that's what I'm trying to say. So it's like the backup quarterback isn't actually supposed to be a physical player in the sense that like, and it's like, so when you have a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick who was labeled a career backup, but he said, I don't want to be a backup. I want to be the guy.
Be a baller,
so
yeah.
he started chasing that later in his career and he actually was able to do it. Then yeah, that's not like, you can never label that as a bust. But then you have someone like Blaine Gabbert who's supposed to have a career like, let's say Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he doesn't do that. He just is like stagnant or like content with being a backup. Then it's like that's not a bust. That's just a bust for his expectations. But he's doing what he wants to do, and he's still making millions of dollars.
Exactly.
It's
All right,
like-
so one more question just to exit out of that. Do you think the Jets are quarterback killers? Do you think that right now a quarterback could get, let's say, like a slightly above average quarterback?
They're about to get Aaron Rodgers, my guy.
Well, I'm just saying when they draft quarterbacks, it kind of seems like they fuck up a lot of guys' careers.
Well, that's the NFL system, in my opinion. I feel like not all, I shouldn't say all, but most top drafted quarterbacks are bust because they're going to the worst situation. That's just like the name of the game, right?
Yeah.
You get put onto the worst team, And it's like, okay, now figure it out. Like, you expect
Yeah.
this guy to just figure it out overnight. Usually they have, like, coaching changes every fucking 2 years.
That's
like,
why usually the later draft picks, they're just so lucky.
Yeah.
Like Russell Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger,
Patrick
Tom
Mahomes.
Brady, Patrick Mahomes.
like,
yeah.
even, like, Justin Herbert, he went, like, 10th. Like, he was, like, the third or fourth quarterback picked. And it's like,
Lamar, 32.
yeah, it's like these guys come into established situations and then they have all the benefits. Like, think about, like, Patrick Mahomes, for example. He is in the best. Like, I would make the argument. I always do. I'm a hater, though. But that he's a system quarterback. Like,
No, you're an
he's
idiot.
in Andy Reid's system. He's
Hey,
had,
listen.
like, a top 5 receiver in the NFL, the
Just
number 1
because-
tight end in the NFL. Like,
I'll speak to exactly what you're saying. Just because you excel in a system doesn't mean you're a system QB.
I think
He's a
so.
great, talented QB, and he excels in that system. Bro, when he was at Texas Tech, he broke the record for passing yards in a game.
All right.
That wasn't because of the system.
what do you know what the record of the Chiefs were the year before you started?
Yeah, they're really good. They were like 15-2 or something like that.
12-5 or 12-6 or 12-4. They were 12-4 with Alex Smith.
Alex Smith is really good. He's a number 1 overall draft pick.
But that's what I'm trying to say. But, like, how can you say he's not a system quarterback when the standard set before him is the standard he's been maintaining?
What? That's like
since?
saying that Tom Brady was a system quarterback.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is because he
left
walked into a.
Belichick and went and won. Let me see
Oh
Patrick
my
Mahomes leave
gosh, bro.
Andy Reid and go
first
to
of all,
win.
where he was in his career, do you think he left to go to some bum team? You idiot! He
No,
went to the
no,
team
no,
where
of
the system
course.
was already in place.
No, of course, no, but it's a different system. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
man, you're an
I'm saying
asshole.
Andy Reid. Andy
You're
Reid is
literally
one of the
just an
greatest
asshole.
coaches of all time.
He is, especially offensive minded.
the best, most offensive minded.
Before we get off of football, I just wanted to say, man, do you remember watching that game where Mike Vick threw the huge touchdown to Deshaun Jackson to
Jackson,
start
first
the
play of the
game?
game? Yeah, first
bro,
play of the game, 80
that
yard
team
ball.
was so exciting. That's one of the most exciting teams I ever watched.
Mm.
Mike Vick, Deshaun Jackson,
Jeremy
Maclin on the
LaShawn
other
McCoy.
side. Oh my gosh! And who was their third receiver? The older
Jason
guy,
Avant.
Jason Avant. Man, made some big plays. That team
LaShawn
was so
McCoy,
fun
that
to
was when
watch.
Shady got like 1,600 yards, 20
I wish
touchdowns.
they would have won a Super Bowl because that was one of my favorite
They
teams
should have
ever.
won that year.
All right, so one last topic I got is we got March Madness going on. The female finals is coming up. Caitlin Clark.
I said the female finals.
Caitlin Clark is looking
This
like she's
guy is
stop
such a
it.
simp.
Caitlin Clark is looking like she's gonna be the best female baller of all time. What do you think?
I think you're a simp.
I'm a simp because I'm talking about female basketball.
Bro,
You're moving like an incel. We can't talk about female basketball. Caitlin Clark is actually fired. I'm bringing it up because of Caitlin Clark. I'm not bringing it up because it's the women's finals. If this was last year, I wouldn't have brought it up. She's actually the best female player ever.
Is she gonna win?
I think so.
You got money
Yeah.
on it?
I don't know. I mean, I'll bet you.
No, but she is wet. She's wet like a boat. She plays like Steph.
She plays like Steph, exactly, and that's the thing. Like what Steph does isn't about his physical attributes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he's the manliest man on the court. So for you to sit here and say I'm a simp for bringing up Caitlin Clark, you're just a faggot.
No, I never said. I never said you're a simp for bringing up Caitlin Clark. I said you're a simp for bringing up. Like, you said, "Oh, March Madness." Final
Oh,
Four.
I was just setting
I'm
the I was setting the
let's set
table.
No,
I was setting the
You
table.
were setting the table. I was like, okay, we're gonna talk about March
He was,
Madness Final Four.
he's
And then
pissed
this
off
guy
with the
talks
with the
about,
with the plate came. It
"Oh,
was just a
bitches."
salad.
No, but no, I think she's sick. I don't know. I think what Shaq said it best. It's like
Shaq was speaking about her.
No, but women like the WNBA. He was saying like it's not the talent isn't not there in the WNBA. It's just the excitement of the game. So that's why he said I'm not saying bring the net down because women aren't able to dunk. I'm saying bring the net down because more women will be able to dunk and it'll make the game more exciting.
I think they should for sure take the net
So
down.
it's like
Take it down just 1 foot.
When you bring someone up like Caitlin Clark, like yes, she's gonna be the most talented girl that goes into the WNBA. She's gonna average like 30 points a game. She's gonna do all these crazy numbers, but it's not gonna be highlight worthy. Like you know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
gonna be like Sportsnet like top 10 type shit. So it's like. I don't think it's going to make a difference for the WNBA. There's going to be talent that comes in and out. That's just what all sports leagues are. It's a matter of like the it factor, like the fact that
making the
LeBron
game
James is
exciting.
jumping out of the fucking the gym when he came
Hey,
in
bro,
and
there's a
shit.
girl who was just in the McDonald's All-American game. Because actually, I told you, I keep up with female hoops. It's pretty cool. There's this girl that was in the McDonald's All-American game, and she's like, she dunks. Like, she has dunked before, and like, she's nasty.
She's
like,
doing a windmill?
no. She's barely dunking. But if it
some
was a
contact
9 foot,
fall off?
9 foot net, she could probably windmill. Like,
Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying? Like, I think the 9 foot net would be good for the WNBA. They already play with a smaller ball. The women are all shorter. It's not like they have a bunch of like.
Yeah.
There's only a couple women that are so tall where it's like.
But like so tall's
you know?
like 6'9", 6'10", right?
Yeah, 6'9" for a woman is fucking,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's
gigantic,
like
yeah.
the average height is definitely significantly lower than the average height in the NBA.
Yeah, so like I think the average guard in the WNBA is probably like 5'9".
Yeah.
Like
Oh, really?
like yeah, like
Actually?
point guard is like 5'9". And then from the 2 to the 3 spot, you get girls who are like 6'1", 6'2", and then the 4s and 5s are the girls who are like 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and up.
Okay.
And that's the thing, the WNBA is fucking competitive. So if you're like a 6'5" center, you'd be for sure undersized in the WNBA.
Well, how big's like Brittany Griner? She's
6'9".
She was like the more dominant big.
She
no?
is, and there's that other girl too who's even bigger than her. Is she the tallest? Who's that other girl? She's big as hell.
Oh yeah, so she's the tallest at 6'9". Yeah.
But who's
that's
the other
nice.
girl? She kind of I don't want to say she's sexy. She's kind of sexy, I guess. She does all the
So you
photo
want to
shoots
bag
and
a big
stuff.
bitch, huh?
She's Amazonian for sure.
Amazonian.
Death by
A
Snoo.
fucking avatar. Paint her blue and shit. Fuck you mean.
What's her name? Liz Cambridge. How tall is Liz Cambridge? Top third row. Liz Cambridge. And see right there, that's a terrible picture. I'm so cheese. But see right there, she looks good though. What's her height? 2
206.
meters. Who measures in meters?
No, that's yeah, 6'8". I was gonna say.
Yes, but she's like Griner's
She's
kind of
bigger,
skinny.
yeah,
Yeah, she's bigger. And it's like, yeah, bro, like the WNBA is cool. And bro, she would look so dominant on a 9-foot net.
Yeah.
It would really show how dominant she is.
Even
Because
like
I've
put
seen
it
her.
at 9.5. You're like, it's just like the fact that it's a standard 10 because guys play on 10 is so weird.
And even some high schools play on 9.5 nets. It's retarded. And even I've seen her play with like regular sized dudes, like 6-foot size men, and like, yeah, she dominates them. Like, like, yeah, she's so big, bro. Like, it's impossible to guard her if you're a regular sized person. So it's like, yeah, the WNBA definitely has something there. I think it's like you said, they have to make it more exciting. I think with the on-court game, like lowering the rims would help, but I think just off-court, like pump some money into it. If it takes pumping $100 million into it to make it as big as it'll never be as big as the NBA is.
Yeah.
But if you pump $100 million into it to make it twice as big as it is, I think that's worth it in the long run. Like, 2 or 3 times bigger than it is. I think it could be way bigger than it is, and they're just not capitalizing on the right markets. Toronto could use a WNBA team for sure.
I also think like this is very, very I would say misogynistic of me to say, but I think that girls should also tap into their femininity when they're promoting the WNBA, and I will sell more.
There is some
like
girls.
that. No, there are some,
pull up
but I'm saying
Skylar, what's her name?
But
Diggins or whatever.
But I'm saying like,
pull her up.
I understand that they're there because they have a talent, but it's like sex sells. Like at every level,
Skylar
everybody
Diggins.
understands
Her
that.
name
It's
was
like
popping up right there.
I'm not saying make that the dominant
Not
part.
Dammers, bro.
I'm not saying make that like the dominant like aspect of the promotion.
No, there's no A in her name, bro. It's Diggins. You know, I
Who
heard.
cares? Let him do his thing. Bro, I'm saying like I don't think like it should be a dominant aspect of the advertising, but it should definitely be incorporated. Like you should be promoting like these girls' Instagrams and shit, and these girls on Instagram should be moving like girls on Instagram because it will. Again,
They do though. They actually do. I see what you're saying, but it's just like how much can the WNBA push that? I've made this argument, and I actually started to pay attention more, and I noticed that there actually is some sex symbols in the WNBA.
But it's like that's what I'm trying to say. So it's like I feel like promoting it in that way, it's a more misogynistic view. But it's like if you're trying to tap into the guy market, which they clearly are, it's like you're not gonna just you're not just gonna be like looking for looking for like ballers because it's like ballers are everywhere. Like you'll see a high school baller doing the same thing the girls in the NBA are doing and shit.
Yeah, she's dope. I think even I hear what you're saying, but even like that also too, just like put them in the right environment, like have Ice Spice and Pink Panthers do like the theme song for the WNBA for the whole season.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying,
and have them be around them.
But why can't they be in Ice Spice and shit's music videos?
Yeah,
like you see rappers and NBA players and rappers videos and shit all the time.
I agree with you. Make
it's
them
like
more of the culture.
thing.
Like just incorporate them with the culture.
And that's
100%.
what I'm saying. It not from the WNBA side, but from like the women's. Like I understand that that's not who they are necessarily. Like I don't want to make the people do what they don't feel comfortable doing, but it's like things like that would promote the sport so much more.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if you saw this, like the Nebraska volleyball team thing that happened like
I
earlier
did.
in the year.
I did. We talked
like
about
obviously
it.
That's an extreme, but it's like that's
It's
a
fire.
perfect example of like how sex sells in sports. Like they sold out. I think they sold out for 24 straight games.
Okay, I'll play devil's
It's like-
advocate for TJ right now because I understand what he's saying. It kind of sounds stupid. It does. But at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of benefits from the WNBA being a lot bigger. More opportunities for female ballers and more examples for females to look up to. Like I would rather
100% more positive.
I'd rather my daughter look up to Liz Cambridge than Cardi B.
100%.
Nothing against Cardi B, but it's just like athletes are great role models.
And I guess I do kind of contradict myself by saying like what I'm saying, but like I do think that the WNBA do produce better role models because they are accomplished women in a sense, and it's like me saying they should not objectify, but like objectify themselves to like to sell more tickets. It is I obviously see it's a contradiction, but I'm saying there should be a sweet point that they like a sweet middle point that they can find where it's kind of teetering the line of both without crossing over, right? Like you don't have to be twerking and shit half-ass naked, but it's like just.
Bro, like LeBron James, when he does his Nike commercials, usually has his shirt off. Like Michael Jordan too. Like I'm not saying that like they're trying to be sexy, but it's like they're definitely trying to appeal to everyone in a broader market. It's like some people aren't going to be into basketball. Some people are just going to be into this attractive person. It's just like, yeah, the WNBA should embrace that to a certain extent for sure, but no more than no more than the NBA does. You know, just push people in the right direction. Help them be in the spotlight. You know.
I would say like it would be more on the girls on their own personal branding than the WNBA.
And because even look, he's pop. This is the highest paid, right? And Skylar Diggins-Smith, I just said she's a sex symbol, but all the other girls on there are just ballers, you know. And that's the thing. It's like the top talented girls, they're not very feminine. Let's just put it simply, right? Like, you know, so it's like they kind of get caught up in that in between, right? Where it's tough.
Or people are just going to be on live. If you're out here posing on Instagram, people are going to be like, yo, you're murked.
Or like that. Or just imagine if they flooded the WNBA with all the sexiest players and the talent level wasn't as good anymore. And then you'd for sure have girls like Diana Taurasi saying this is bullshit. Yeah. This is not pure the game,
That would fuck it up. No, I agree with that.
But I think they should add a couple more teams. I think right now there's not enough teams, and it's making it so that like Diana Taurasi is a great player, but she's holding up girls from getting drafted into the WNBA. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's not enough of a rotating door. Of course there isn't.
No, but what you were saying like a few episodes back is like an expansion is probably the better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that Diana Taurasi should get cut out the league. I'm just saying there should be more teams. So
there should be an expansion. Yeah. But yo, I can't take in like this kind of pissing me off that we're an hour in. We're not talking about the King coming back.
Tate?
No, like the second coming.
What are you talking about?
The Messiah.
The Lakers making the playoffs?
Jesus. The return of Kanye the fuck West, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This guy was so confused.
I literally don't. What is he returning to?
He's back on social media. The fuck? You never saw what he posted?
No.
Oh, my gosh. Greatest post of all time. The most Kanye post of Kanye's history.
Oh.
When he posted the 21 Jump Street shit?
It actually went in one ear and out the other with me. I said, this is nonsense.
Bro, how is that not the most Kanye thing ever of all time?
It is. It's pretty funny.
Bro,
I feel like people are like, one reason why I tuned out is because I seen people being so offended, and I was like, that's kind of funny.
Yo, it's hilarious. It's like, yo, he lost billions of dollars because he says, I don't want to apologize, which I respect. Don't apologize if you don't feel like you need to apologize. But the way he came back with his quote unquote apology is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
This guy said, I watched you on Jump Street. Jonah Hill was hilarious. he makes me respect all the Jews again.
I just want to know, like, Jonah Hill was sitting somewhere conflicted as fuck.
Yo,
he's like, I don't know how to feel about this.
He was so confused. He's like, yo, am I allowed to be happy? Because it's like, yo, I know all my uncles and aunts hate this nigga.
You know, so many of his Jewish like cousins and shit were calling him like, yo, bro, you're the most fucking prolific Jewish guy ever since Jesus fucking Christ.
Bro, it's like, imagine all the criticism this guy was saying and all the pressure. He was just like, yo, just apologize. He's like, nah. Watch this 21 Jump Street. Yo, I think I should apologize.
I'm gonna apologize in my own way.
Yo, bro, this shit was so moving. This movie made me laugh so much. I do love Jews. Like, it's like, what the yo, it's hilarious. The most Kanye's ever done in his life. It's the funniest shit ever.
It's just really funny because it's like if Kanye was if this roles were reversed and he was like a redneck and like his relationship with Jews was like a redneck's relationship with black people, this would still be fucking hilarious.
Yo, just the way it dropped. Yeah, the way it dropped.
Just watch Paid in Full. Cameron was amazing. Now that I think about it, I do love them blackies.
I do love them blackies.
It's like, what are you going on about, bro? Fuck. You're making it worse, honestly.
Bro, it's just so funny that he did some shit like that. And it's like he didn't even no follow up anything. Just post that. Everyone's talking about it, and it's like, did Kanye apologize? Nobody even said, like, he never said anything. He just said, yo, I like them.
Can I ask you a question? If Kanye West did a stand up tour,
bro,
would you be there? I feel like he'd be an amazing stand up comedian.
Amazing, bro. Well, he's the greatest performer of all time, so I don't see why that would be a difference.
I'll give that to Michael Jackson.
Wow.
I'll give that.
Did Michael Jackson float on the stage over the crowd? No.
Yes, he did. Every time he did the moonwalk. Every time.
Nah, bro. Kanye's the fucking GOAT. Like, the level of confidence in himself to be moving like this is just, it's amazing to me. It's like okay, for example, last week I said what were we talking? We were talking about like, should you be obedient to like your employer type shit? Like, you know, remember that? And I kind of misspoke because when I was listening to it back, I kind of took in what you were asking and I answered it wrong. I answered the way I perceived it, not the way you actually asked. Where you said, you don't want your daughter to be like yes sir, yes thing to their employer. I was seeing it in the perspective of like if my daughter's working at like Metro, the grocery store, and the employer's like, okay, go stock aisle 17 and then go remove all the boxes in the back.
Yeah.
Go do that. I would say don't answer question back. Just say do that, do your job.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think like an obedient slave is necessary, right? So it's like someone who's like, if you tell someone to do something unreasonable, even though it's within the bounds of their job, they should go do it without questioning. And it's like, I feel like that's how a lot of people, like I would say the majority of people move nowadays. And it's like Kanye is like a breath of fresh air for a guy like me who moves the same way as like, I would never do something I'm not like, even though it's my job to do it, I'm not gonna like. I don't follow stupid rules, essentially. Yeah. And Kanye's the number one person of not following stupid rules. And it's like I feel like it is a refreshing breath of fresh air when you see some shit like that. And it's like he says no to all these pressures that go against him. Like the fact that like people get canceled every day. And then they come up with these fake ass apologies, like, "Sorry, it was against my persons. I need to go back. I need
high school apologies.
I need to read up and like educate myself." Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's like, yo, you see these same ass. It's like that's not even an apology. It's like, yo, Kanye says some fucked up shit. He gets canceled. Cool. He moves away, comes back, makes his apology when he feels like he wants to make an apology.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
I'll say this about corporate interests. That's why sometimes, like, because you see, like, let's say everyone was not getting canceled, and like some people were this way and some people were that way. Like, let's say whatever, like bigots or sexist or whatever it is, right? And then like at least they would out themselves. People say, "Oh, I don't like that," and then like CNN would fire him, but it's like he would go and get a job at like the news station that caters to that, and then he would actually be catering to his fans that actually are into that type of shit. And it's just like that's where the corporate interest gets fucked up because it's like Dove only wants to pay for commercials on channels that are going with the agenda and not going like coloring outside the lines type shit. I feel like people should have the freedom to be wrong.
But I don't even think like it's necessarily corporate interest always. I think that is definitely plays a part in it. But it's like think about it like this, right? So like we have in our country, we're technically a free nation, right? Same with America, they're a free country. And then we had these like COVID come through, and they shut down all these churches, all these synagogues, all these places of gathering where you're literally legally not allowed to do it, but cops were still enforcing laws that weren't legal to be enforced. And it's like
their boss is telling them.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. So like that's cowardism. It's like if your job is to uphold the law and someone is telling you to do something contrary to it, even if it is your superior, you shouldn't do it.
Like, I guess so, man.
No, but it is.
Being a cop is so shit because, bro, them niggas go home and smoke weed and they're like, fuck, I'm breaking the law right now.
But it's like, yo, back in the day.
Their job
it's like,
makes no sense, bro.
Not even back in the day, but like 10, 20, 15 years ago, it's like people wouldn't jeopardize their morals for a paycheck. And it's like now we live in a society.
I disagree.
What do you mean? I feel like now people used to like quit out of protest. Like that was an actual thing. If someone like of a superior,
well-off people, not poor people.
No, but it's like you'll always be able to find a job somewhere else. It's like the same scenario like how I went through like the vaccination shit, where it's like I'm not gonna get vaccinated because I don't feel like it's like the mandates are proper. I can care less about the actual vaccine itself. It's like I don't think the mandates were good. It's like I'm gonna go take the sacrifice of not like getting paid for that. And it's like people's morals should trump like your boss's fucking say, or else you're gonna lose a paycheck. Like that. Like, that's how people are getting controlled nowadays. And I feel like the cowardism of society is kind of just like, well, I'm gonna just do what I have to do.
I just wish that they would like mandate something dope. Like imagine if like they mandated like you have to smoke weed like at least once a week. Like people would be so much more chill, bro.
I disagree with that. I think our society would be even more fucked than it is now.
Why?
I don't like. I don't know.
Or maybe like shrooms. Like you have to consume some shrooms once a month.
I think that like
you ever done shrooms?
No. So I'm not speaking on shrooms.
We gotta do shrooms one time. We're gonna bring shrooms on.
I'm not afraid.
We're gonna do. Next week. Let's do a shrooms episode.
No, I'm good on that stuff.
Come on, brother. Come on. We're gonna do a shrooms episode. I'm gonna bring on a shrooms expert.
And shrooms expert? What's that? Someone who's just taking shrooms a lot?
Yeah. And we're all gonna do shrooms together, and we're gonna do an episode of the pod on shrooms.
Bro, I actually
It's gonna be fun.
So let me ask you
next week.
I want to ask you out of like because obviously a lot of niggas who smoke
weed.
Yeah. How many of them, like percentage-wise, not number, how many of them would you say are productive weed smokers? Like they can like live their regular 9-to-5 life like with high as fuck.
Oh, all of them, bro. Some of my most productive, literally like my one friend. I have a friend of mine who's very, very active, does everything he needs to do, and he smokes more weed than
of course. I think there are people that can be very productive when they smoke weed.
I think you're saying like that the average person, like no, like everyone that I don't know anyone who's lazy because of the weed. I know niggas that don't do shit, but lazy, it has nothing to do with the weed.
Slower, like are they like
no, bro? No. I'm telling you, I'm actually telling you, especially because the people who I know who smoke a lot,
but it's like
I've been smoking a lot for a long time.
But it's like, for example, I know you And I know that like you smoke all the time, and you do move slower when you're high.
How?
You do-
I'm high right now.
You're not.
Yes, I am.
Bro, I've seen you when you're high, and you just like the way you
You
talk.
see me when I'm really, really, really high. Okay, there's different levels to it. You see me when I'm stoned, like, yeah, okay.
But
Even then, when you're saying slower, it's like, bro, I still pulled up to my fucking podcast and shot my podcast.
No,
you
no,
idiot.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying productivity. I'm not saying like will they not be able to go through their life. I'm saying
Oh, they move more calm. Yeah, that's my whole point.
but it's
Why
not a
people
matter
should
of
do
calm. It's like, yo, you're
more,
just
more methodical. They're like, bro, sometimes, bro, driving slow is good. Everyone's on the road trying to drive so fast. You get there 2 minutes earlier. Drive slow, enjoy the view, bro. Like, relax. Let someone go past you. Like,
no, I
don't
feel
honk
like
your horn because they want to
productivity,
squeeze
like,
in.
I have a weird view of weed. Like I think everybody should be allowed to smoke.
But how much weed do you smoke?
I don't smoke a lot anymore at all. Like, but I used to smoke. But it's like I didn't even stop. I have a bad reaction to smoking. Like I'm one of the guys that I'm talking about in the sense that like when I smoke, I do like not get lazy, but I move very slow. Like it'll take me like 10 minutes to do a task that usually takes me 2 minutes to do. Type
But that's
shit.
we gotta break through that. That's the thing I'm saying. Like most of the guys I know who smoke a lot, they've been smoking since they were like 15, 16. So you get that out your system in those first couple of years.
I
You
would
get more
smoke,
used to it.
But like that's what I'm saying. I used to smoke from like when I was 15, 16, all the way till I was like probably like 22, 23. I stopped smoking. Like I wouldn't even say I was never like a consistent like 5 days a week smoking like wake and bake type person. But I would smoke socially with my friends at school. Like we'll always smoke a blunt and shit like that. Like that. I never really was a weed smoker, but I smoked weed for like 10 years of my life, and it's like I feel like it you know when you're high when you know when you're not. Like if you needed to do something important, you wouldn't get high before you had to do something important, and that's because
To a certain extent, yeah.
But it's like that's for a reason.
But
It's
even
like,
then, nah. It's like for me, sometimes, fam, because smoking is just a regular part of my day. So I'll smoke, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go do this, and I'll just go do it.
no,
and
I
I'll
get
be
that, but
high,
it's like
right?
let's say you had something planned out, like you had a big thing you had to do. You're not gonna smoke before going to do it. Like
Depends on what it is. Even like my last fight, I stopped smoking for a few days before, and I'm like, man, it was unnecessary because smoking helps me relax anyways, and being relaxed helps you fight better. So, I hear what you're saying. Like, and for some people, it's gonna affect everyone differently. But like, nah, it's not like drinking, bro. Like, if someone's drunk, like, let's say one of us showed up to the podcast drunk, like me, Shu, or you. I'd actually, you're riding. We have to shoot tomorrow. Like, we're not shooting like this. Like, you know, like if it was like belligerently
but
drunk,
you
you know.
want to get high on shrooms.
Because I'm telling you, shrooms and weed, you can function way better than when you're drunk, like 100 times better.
I don't even drink anymore either.
Bro, we're gonna do
It's like-
shrooms. You're gonna love it.
I'm
You're gonna
not against
love
shrooms.
it. We're doing it next
I would love
week.
to try
We're
it.
doing
I would
it
love
next
to try
week.
it, but I wouldn't. Nah,
Next
I'm not gonna do it in a small ass room. I want to be out in nature.
small ass room,
Watch
brother.
some-
There's
watch
the
some
peoples.
trees.
The peoples. Look at all the people out there.
I
Come
want
on,
some,
millions.
I want some trees, some ocean, some lake. You know.
So we're gonna do an outdoor
nature.
podcast. It's stressful. It's so gray outside too. No, let's do some. Let's do a little bit of shrooms, man. Just a little bit.
What kind of pure pressure shit is this?
Because I feel like sometimes, honestly, I feel like you're a closed-minded person, and the shrooms will.
I definitely wouldn't
will
say I'm a
open you up.
closed-minded person, and this is a perfect example of how I'm not. Like, I think that anyone should be able to do whatever the fuck they want, but I've actually been recently switching my
See
mind.
that butt? That was so hard.
No.
Once the shrooms gets in your system, that hard butt is gone. There's no butt. It's just on the contrary.
No. So like for my whole life, like since I was like 15 years old, before I ever smoked weed, I always thought like it's crazy that weed's illegal. How
Pull up
like,
some
all
pictures of
these-
shrooms, Misha.
all these shrooms and like all these drugs are illegal, and I always thought like through the court system, like the government should
Slide it
never
over to the left.
a government should never be able to tell a grown man what they can and can't put in their body. Like that's always been something I thought in my life, and it's like
Yeah.
I've only recently, like, and when I say recently, I mean like the last year and a half, have changed that perspective because I've been seeing shit like what's happening.
Like
in,
when them niggas put them gerbils up their butts, you're like, nah, you
No,
shouldn't be allowed to
not
put that
even-
gerbil up your butt.
Not even that. I'm saying like these fucking like crack cities and shit where it's like you have them in Vancouver, you have them in San Francisco, where you
Yeah,
see like
so fucked
literally
up, so fucked
streets
up.
of zombies, and like that's the only thing that's turning me off
Imagine
to
you
that.
accidentally move there and you got your kids there
Yo,
and shit.
bro,
so
you don't see
fucked.
those videos where the kids are coming off the school bus and they have to like step over crackheads on the street and shit? It's like
super fucked.
that's the only thing that's turned me off to the legalization of weed. Is because
Go
all
back to
those
the-
places are like safe injection cities and shit. It's like I thought,
But that's
like,
weed though. That's not
no,
like
that's
crack
not
and
weed.
all
That,
that
no,
shit.
yeah, no. I'm saying all drugs. I used to believe all drugs.
Oh yeah,
But my perspective on weed and shrooms hasn't changed and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I'm saying like
This-
all
you've
drugs,
seen
I used
shrooms
to
before, right?
Yeah,
They
I
taste
kn-
like shit. We're gonna have to get some honey or some peanut butter or something.
Bro, take that shit straight. Are you a bitch?
I
Look
guess
Wata.
so.
We'll get a look
Some-
at Wata.
Bro, they just taste bad, and then you be high, and you're like, oh man, am I high in my mouth or is that a bad taste? And you know, you be feeling funny. I like to put a little honey on it or something. Whatever. We'll figure it out. We're gonna do some shrooms next week. If you're a shroom head, tune in. We're gonna be talking about psychedelics and the effect that they have on society, and if we should incorporate it more into our education system.
Yeah. Yo, another story I wanted to ask you about, especially. This is fucking hilarious in my opinion. Did you see that? The guy that broke up with his girl because Chris Brown brought his girl on stage at his show?
I mean, that sounds perfectly justifiable.
Bro,
I would do the exact same. First of all, why are you at a Chris Brown concert with your girl? That's crazy.
Have you even seen these? Like, this Chris Brown tour?
I've been hearing about this shit on Twitter.
Bro, the tour is hilarious. So he brings girls up and gives them like the most seductive lap dance, like in front of everybody.
Already right then, I wouldn't be able to breathe.
So the guy's like grabbing the girl's hands, like, "Yo, if you leave, I'm gonna break up with you."
Yo.
The girl went. This guy went on social media crying. Like,
But yo, I'll say this about
girl.
like, see when dudes talk about simping and shit, brother. Why are you holding a girl's hand, asking her to not do something she wants to do because you're a fragile little heart, brother?
But it's not a matter
Get it
of
together.
fragile little heart. What the
Nah,
fuck?
bro. If the bitch is going, let her go,
Bro,
brother. Move
no,
on.
no, I
And you're at a
get
Chris
that.
Brown concert too. There's probably mad bitches there. Like, go get a new bitch.
No,
Like,
but yo, it's so funny. So like,
yeah, he did
no,
that.
bro, this is what the whole tour's been. So
Fuck.
he's doing
I feel bad for the dude now. I called him a simp. I'm sorry, brother. Your little simpy little heart got broke. That's crazy.
bro. Like, imagine you.
Yo,
like,
she's so into it. How you not? But this is what I'm saying too,
this
bro.
is the actual girl. But
Okay,
this is just the
let's
show.
just say-
Yeah,
But look how into it she is. You don't want that for a girl. If that's what she wants, let her be happy.
Bro.
Like, bro, if, I want my girl to, if she was ever forced to be in that situation, to just be disgusted. Like, this nigga's dancing on me. Ew, this isn't my nigga.
Bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do you want
Think
a
about
girl
if you
that you
just-
have to physically fight from doing
But
stuff
think about
like
you if
this?
you just allowed your girl to do that. You go home, you're back in it. She's just there daydreaming about Chris Brown. You see it in her eyes. She's not even like locked in. And she's just like, yo, I'm just wishing my man was Chris Brown right now. Yo.
Honestly, fam, everything about that is fucked. But yeah, like, Kay, see this dude's on, like, going to a Chris Brown concert is more of a reason to break up than the lap dance. And my whole thing is just like, bro, from when the girl says I want to go to a Chris Brown concert, I'm seeing now that our maturity levels aren't the same. Like, I would like, how are you going to a Chris Brown concert? You're not 17. The fuck, like.
Bro, it's like, this short story was so jokes when I saw it because it's like, yo, I feel so bad for this guy. And like all these girls obviously are supporting the girl. I'm like, this is like, yo, they're for the streets. Like, they're actually for the streets at that point. Because it's like, yo, you're never going to go to the strip club with your boyfriend and then not just buy him a lap dance, but get him a lap dance from the hottest. Like Chris Brown is the closest thing to a fucking 10. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, give me a 9.8 stripper and let her give you a lap dance and see how you fucking feel about that.
Yeah.
A girl that's significantly hotter than you will ever be. And see if you allow that. Like, maybe that's giving me to call Chris Brown a 10. But it's like, bro, it's fucking Chris Brown.
Beyond
He is
that,
a sex symbol.
the bitch is. I mean, Chris Brown isn't just attractive. He's rich.
He's a sex symbol.
Yeah,
like,
that too. He'll actually take your bitch. No questions asked.
questions
It
asked.
wouldn't be an issue for him. He probably has a whole program set up, the limo, all that. It'd
Bro,
be quick.
this guy beat the fuck out of a bitch and every girl's still in love with him. It's like, yo, like that
Yeah.
should tell you something. It's like, bro, it's like there's no girl in the world that would allow their man to get the hottest chick in the world to give him a lap dance like that in front of everybody too.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just glad that the dude left her because a lot of dudes these days would have actually
the
cheered
rest of
her
the-
on
the
and been
rest of
sitting
the
there
tour,
waiting for her after.
The
Like,
rest of the
fuck,
tour with
man.
all these girls that are getting these lap dances, like in other clips and shit, they definitely all have boyfriends and they're just allowing it. Like, you know
I'll
what I
say
mean?
this: if you gotta be insecure, non-self-loving person to follow your girl to a Chris Brown concert.
No,
Brother.
I think you're going a little too far with that. I think it's not a matter
How?
of following her.
Okay,
it's
TJ,
like it's a
let me
night
set,
out.
let me
It's
set
a
the
night
ta-
out.
let me
It's
set
a
the
night
table
out.
for you. Let me set the table for you.
Yeah.
You and your homie,
Mhm.
you got your girl and his girl are friends, right? They're talking about they want to go to the Chris Brown concert so bad.
Yeah.
They're not inviting you, but they're not inviting you. Are you and your friend gonna say, yeah, let's buy tickets too and go with them?
But like,
No, just answer the question. Yes or
No,
no?
no.
No, right? Because you're not fucking desperate.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
but it's like I think you're kind of making it like weirder than it is. Like, let's say it's a girl like for Christmas or a girl's birthday, you're like, yo, I'm gonna buy you tickets to a Chris Brown concert. Like, I like Chris Brown's music, you like Chris Brown's music, so it's like, yo, well, let's just go to a concert.
Already, I can't relate to a dude.
But you don't
that.
but you don't like Chris Brown's music.
No, I'm not against Chris Brown's music, but I'm not like a fan of his music. I would never go to his concert.
You don't. What about like Trey songs?
No,
You don't like R&B music.
not men's R&B. I like female R&B because I like listening to a bitch sing to me like how she wants to do this and that and
Oh.
how she wants me to treat her type shit, or she's mad I broke her heart type
Okay, what
shit.
about a Drake concert? What about a Drake concert?
I've been to Drake concerts.
So if you
off of proximity,
let's say,
so it's
let's
hard
just
for me
say,
to
let's
deny
say
that.
your girl wanted to go to the Drake concert. You surprised her for her birthday, bought her Drake tickets to the Drake show. All right.
Okay.
Would you go with her?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. A Drake concert is much more like appealing to a man than a Chris Brown or Trey Songz concert.
But like that's what I'm saying. Is I think it's just a night out. Like you could be able to do more.
No, I hear what
So
you're
it's like,
saying. I hear what you're saying. I just feel like, bro, like
I think you're riding on the fact that it's just Chris Brown and shit.
No,
It's like,
I'm saying like that's almost like going with your girl to the movies to watch Magic Mike. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this to yourself? Like, what is in it for you?
like, man, I don't know.
You like Chris Brown.
I do like Chris Brown. I like Trey Songz too. The fuck? Trey Songz is fire. There's no way. Like, I think you're just capping. I feel like more more niggas are gonna ride with me than you.
If I
that
pull
they
up
like
Chris
Chris
Brown on my phone, I have a couple Chris Brown songs, especially the one with Aaliyah. That's a fire song. Like,
but that's what I'm trying to say. So it's like you like Chris Brown's music.
See,
so like, why are you capping? Just
I don't
cap?
like his music. I don't like Chris Brown's music.
Do you think he's a very talented artist?
Yes, I do think that.
So it's
So
like,
he's on this one Meek Mill song, and he's on a song here with A Boogie, and the Aaliyah song, and he's on the new Metro.
So you don't have any of his own music?
No.
Yeah, you're just different. I feel like more people are gonna agree with me than you that like Chris Brown, Trey Songz, like yes, they make music for women, but they still make great music that everyone's gonna listen to.
I mean, I will listen to a Trey Songz song, brother,
Trey
but
Songz
I won't
is
go
even
to his
more intimidating
concert.
than fucking Chris Brown.
It's
This
not
nigga has
about
a
being
massive
intimidating.
dick. What are you talking
Bro,
about?
it's not about intimidating, brother. Even like see that Gadivian guy? I would never go to his concert. He's making songs for females.
I get what you're saying, but there's still great music.
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying, why would I be there in the crowd? That's crazy to me, fam. That's crazy to me. To be in a crowd with a bunch of screaming bitches who are all screaming for the man, it's like you don't feel out of
exactly what it would
place.
be at like a Drake show, though.
No,
bunch of
I've been to
screaming
Drake
bitches
shows.
screaming for the
There's-
bitch.
Bro, there's so many
Or for the
men
man, sorry.
at Drake concerts. There's so many men. Like his target audience is almost as much men as it is girls. I'm not talking about like it's a bunch of older real niggas there. It's not like that. Like there's obviously niggas there, but like when it comes to young people and shit, fam, like yeah, like
see it in your
like-
eyes, you're angry.
that's actually insane. That's crazy. But yeah, no, Drake concerts is like a very mixed crowd. Like, and you even see older people there and shit. You see everyone at Drake concerts. But like a Chris Brown concert, at least 80% of the crowd is females. At least.
Not like I personally think all concerts, no matter what you're going to, it's gonna be 70 or higher % female than guys.
No, you haven't been to enough concerts.
I haven't. I don't go to a lot of
Okay,
concerts. I
so
don't go to a lot
and
of
let's say this Chris Brown concert is probably 70 to 80% female. Now let's break down the 20% of men that are there.
Oh my
How
gosh.
many of them are not even straight in the first place?
Oh.
How many of them are also looking at Chris Brown like they want him too? Probably at least 5%. Now the next 15%, at least 5% of those guys, like I said, are just so desperate, or they're just following their girl there to see how much does she really like Chris Brown. I got to see this for myself. And then like there's like 10% of guys there who are just lost and just there because they like Chris Brown. Those guys are idiots. They're the biggest dummies there. Everyone else should be there.
So if like let's say hypothetically one day you wake up, you're at a Chris Brown show with your girl and she goes on stage, automatically done?
Yeah.
Not even a question.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's going to be a lot to figure out because there's kids involved, but it's over. It's over.
Last story before we go. You saw the Pope went viral for rocking a puffer jacket?
That was a real picture?
No. No, but the internet is so fucking stupid that they all thought it was a real picture and it made the fucking picture go viral. I'm like, yo, y'all niggas are
I knew for
stupid.
sure
The internet is not-
drip was too drippy.
The internet is not ready for AI, bro.
No, they're not. They're not.
Did you
I
see
realize
the
that.
the week before this when Trump got arrested? Those pictures, same shit. It's like, yo, this guy Terrence came in my room. He's like, yo, did you see this shit? I'm like, bro, that's not real.
Wait,
he's like, what do you mean they're not real? It's on 6plus. I'm like, what?
Who, Donald Trump getting arrested?
Yeah, when he got chased down the street and like those cops, like these pictures.
I never saw this.
You never saw these?
No.
Yeah, so it's like these pictures all went viral. Like when he made the announcement.
Did they arrest him?
No, well, he's getting arrested on Tuesday now. But I'm saying like at this point, we were absolutely no arrest.
Oh,
on
so
him.
the one that says
All these
BBC
pictures.
fake Trump.
All these pictures are fake. Every single one you're
Okay.
looking at.
I saw one of these in passing, but I never really
and that's
thought too much
bro,
about it.
Terrence came running in my room saying, "Yo, look at this! Trump got arrested." I'm like, "Bro, there's no way this is real." He's like, "Bro, there's
But, okay,
pictures."
like,
he
bro-
he literally said,
No, I agree
"Bro,
with you.
there's
I
pictures."
don't
It's on
think people are
6plus.
stupid for falling for this type of shit. This is gonna be one of those things where it's
I
gonna
think
take
they're
a
stupid.
year or two for people to realize, bro. You remember when catfishing first came out? Nigga, I got catfished quite a few
Bro,
times.
the
That shit was new.
but the
I'd never known that people were out there pretending to be other people.
But the response
was just-
you
it was-
gave me for the Pope shit is exactly what people should be doing. Like, yo, that shit's real. You should question it. Like, if you see something so outrageous like a
Yeah.
Pope rocking a fucking puffer jacket, you should question it. Be like, why? Like, no, there's no way that shit is real.
But he did question it. He said, "TJ, did you see this?"
No, he's
That's
no, and I
questioning
said
it.
there's no way that's real. He's like, yeah, there is. It's on 6plus. That's it. That was his. I'm like, bro, you're an idiot. And then I scroll down the 6plus thing that says AI generated.
I feel like the
pictures.
Pope is
oh.
gonna the Pope's gonna go get that jacket now. Now that he sees the reference for it, if someone photoshopped me in a fresh fit like that, I'd have to go get it.
Nah, facts, bro. Like this guy.
That looks super
looking
fly.
like a roadman.
Yeah, especially the way that it has like the belt kind of thing. That's
It's like a girl's jacket though. I don't see no nigga rocking a jacket that long.
unless you're the Pope.
You say the
Like,
Pope gets expensive?
yeah, he could pull that off for sure.
He was looking fly as fuck.
His life is different. But no, the chat GBT shit or whatever, the AI shit in
Yeah.
general gets scary because like
We're just not ready for it.
yeah, we're not ready for it. The same way as bro, people weren't ready for catfishing. There's still 80-year-old men out here getting catfished to this day online getting scammed because you never seen it type shit. But you think
Free
that
Mateo.
yeah, you think that they'll ever get like 80-year-old man will never get scammed on like some scam that they seen from when they were young type shit that they're programmed to recognize.
Bro, I'm
It's just
telling you,
it's new shit,
scammers
right?
are gonna be fucking next level with this AI shit. That's gonna
Yeah.
be the end of the world. All right, bro. I think we call it. That was been
Yeah,
another
yeah,
episode.
it was a great episode, man. Hey, man, we're gonna do some shrooms next week.
Oh, my God.
Tune in. We're gonna be high as fuck, having a powwow. It's gonna be nice.
Mm.
It's gonna be nice.
Do you think that black people are significantly affected by shrooms
More so than white people.
Yeah.
I think that we're more in touch with our ancestors.
So we're just more superior.
No, I'm joking. I don't know who uses words like superior. Only a white supremacist. He's a white supremacist at heart. Who uses those type of words?
All right, it's been
Superior.
another episode of Northern Ruckus.
All right, man. You guys already know, man. Take it easy.